Guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good
Hi, how are
evening
you?
to you wherever you are watching us right now. So, this is still Ginseng Matters with Roy, your favorite YouTube channel where you learn, relearn, and unlearn from different aspects of life. And oh my god, guys, today is going to be a wonderful session because as you can see from the flyers, we have amazing people with us on the platform today. And really, I want to challenge you that if you can see audibly well, okay, I think I'm still the only one talking for now. So if you can see me clearly well and you can hear me audibly well, don't hesitate to share this video out with your friends and any other person you feel is going to benefit greatly from the discussion today. And as you can see from the flyer, once again, we have this special topic of discussion before us today. What women want from their husbands. What women want from their husband is going to be an interesting discussion, insightful, and a very impactful one. So you don't want to miss it. Um, I'm really so excited about the discussion today. Before we start the discussion, I would like you guys to just join me in welcoming all these wonderful women that are really, really fully ready to share with us from a lot of knowledge today. And I'll be starting with Dr. Bolaji in the house. Thank you very much, Mara, for the opportunity to have you once again with us on the platform today.
Appreciate this. I
And
don't take it for granted. It's a
thank
it's a pleasure to be here to share with other ladies and to just like share with people and learn.
all right. Thank you very much, Ma. And then I bring to you guys Dr. Folarin in the house. Let's have Dr. Folarin.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the word. I do appreciate it, and I hope we'll have a nice time together tonight
Thank
today.
you very much. And we also have another wonderful mommy with us here, Sister Elizabeth from Japan. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be on this broadcast right now. I am amazed and I'm really, I feel excited to be in here. Thank you for having me, Rhoda. Thank you, ladies. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
guys, without wasting much of our time, let's just dive into the question right away. So, and the meanwhile, in the meantime, don't forget to share this video with your friends, your at work, and any other person that could benefit greatly from the discussion. And one more thing is you can as well join discussion just calling through the link in the comment section. You can also say hello to us. Let's know where you're watching us from. If you have any question, any contribution, feel free to drop them in the comment section. So, like I said before, the topic before us today is what women want from their husbands. What exactly do we really want? Yeah, so before we continue, I would like us to just briefly look into the basic things we actually expect. There are some basic things, the standard things a woman look forward to having in her own marriage. And after considering that, we'll now start looking at the peculiar things, the individual things. What I want from my man is different from what Dr. Balaji wants, is different from what Dr. Falari wants, is from our own husband. So let's start with Dr. Bolaji, considering the basic things, the standard things that women actually want from their marriage. Over to Dr. Bolaji.
Thank you so much. So, um, this topic is very important, and it can all be chunk up into just a few items of
the difference between personality of a man and a woman. And we know that when it relates to that difference, there are some features and characteristics that are just peculiar to a woman. Like the of a woman is different, the makeup of a woman is different, and it is also different from that of a man as well. I know a very popular book that talks the difference between a man and a woman is Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And the book speaks a lot about how a man is different from a woman, how our perception differs. But when we come to what a woman wants from her husband, not from a man now, from her husband, that is the person that belongs to her. I think we cannot but look at the command that the Bible gave unto husband. And in the book of Ephesians chapter 5, the Bible says, husband, love your wife. And say that one of the books that I love about marriage that I read it before getting married, was Love and Respect. And the book actually dwells on that verse, which is husband, love your wives. Love your wives. Love is a big thing. I don't know what happened in Eden. I don't know what Adam and his relationship was like, but I guess somebody to listen to, somebody to convince, somebody to dwell with was part of need that made her like just listen to the devil. And when the Bible is saying this as a command, it is not husband, if you are able, love your wife. It shows that love is a very, very important need. Husbands should love their wives. And there's a popular saying that love is an action word. So you don't tell me you love me and not do love with me. With actions that backs love. So when you love your husband, um, I think a reflection point should also be like, what am I doing to show that I love my husband, my wife? Doing the act of love, then it becomes, how am I sure that you love me? And love comes with a lot of sacrifice, like treating this person as a special person, giving this person your attention, giving this person your time, giving this person your finances, giving this person who you, the entire, the whole of you. So for me, pretty basic. First of all, love. With love comes several other things. With love comes the action show that you love. So I would say that the basic thing from my point of view is that husbands should give love, absolute love, sacrificial love, love without boundary, love without condition to their wives.
Wow, thank you very much for that wonderful submission, Dr. Bolaji. Okay, over to you, Mrs. Elizabeth.
Wow, I thought I was gonna be that last one. Okay, so well, it's quite relative, I would say. What a woman wants from her husband is relative to the woman and to the relationship. And now, Dr. Fulani had said that definitely women, we want love, but we want to feel the love the way we synthesize love. That's really personal, I would say. For instance, I'll bring it home right away. For instance, the way my grandmother, she's of course of blessed memory, she passed on at the age of 96. That was about 12 years ago. Now, the way she synthesized love, the man has to give her some money. You know, when the man gives money every week or every month to put food on the table, then her husband loves her. Then she's all over the place, like her emotion. Wow. But this is the 21st century, and a 21st century woman would synthesize love a little bit differently. We want to feel our husbands love us by, well, I would say, attention. Give us your attention. Of course, most 21st century men, they want money because they work hard and they work smarter, but they work too hard that we don't see them. Yeah, they are in the house, but we don't feel them. Oh, they're not even listening to us. And that, of course, I'm just trying to talk about how a 21st century woman feels the love. Of course, every woman would want to feel love, but how each woman feels the love the man should give is it comes home differently. So we're talking in 2022 December, and I feel most women, or I would personally just bring it home quite on straight that attention and that's attention that shows that you care. You care about the little things that we say, even if they were just blabbing. Oh, you know what? The train came late. The bus was early. Whatever. Like it doesn't really matter. Like, oh, really? Wow. Why did the train come late? Even when you know the answer mattered. Like, you know, marriage is friendship, and it's just that tiny little red ribbon attention is very key. So I want to stop here for now. I hope I'll be able to add on one more thing later.
Wow, thank
Thank you
you
very
so
much.
much, very much for that, Mrs. Elizabeth. Now let's hear from Dr. Folarin. Oh, I think. All right. So before Dr. Folarin shares with us her submission, I would also like to add to what Mrs. Elizabeth said about the expression of love. You know, it's beyond, um, beyond trying to make ends meet, beyond providing for the needs of the family. We want to see the faces of our husbands. We want to feel their presence at home, not just, okay, I mean, yes, we understand you're so busy, working hard, but at the same time, let's see your face. Let's have a one-on-one conversation, a heart-to-heart conversation. And aside that, the communication, like Mrs. Elizabeth said that, okay, the little ah I mistake, what happened today at my place of work, something like that. You want them to be able to give listening ears to everything, to all our little petty all right, okay, so let's go back to Dr. Bolaji. Yeah, so Dr. Bolaji, let's hear from you. What are those other things that you feel are basic things that women, a wife would want to expect from her husband? Because I know there are single ladies that are watching this conversation as well. And some single ladies out there, they might be expecting, once I get married, he must be ready to do this for me. He must to jump from mountain A to mountain B. He must be able to so we are considering both the single ladies that are looking forward to getting married either sooner or later, and also for people that are as well already in the marriage journey. So over to you, Dr. Bolaji. Want to hear more from you, more of those things that a wife should expect from her husband.
Okay, thank you very much. I will pick up from where you stopped, which was emphasizing the need for communication. So the communication pattern between generally men and women are. So, for example, if so just like we also know that most of the time this statistics is about maybe like 70 to 80% of people. Not generally that every man is like woman is like this, but like bucketing humans into common patterns. Usually, men relate stories by summarization. Man goes out to an event and he comes back and you're like, oh, how was that event? Oh, it was good. Like, we had this. That was hot. If you ask the woman, how was that event? It's like, oh, it was great. Before I left the house, I took something. So when I got in the vehicle, I put this way, and we got here. Then when I reached here, I saw this person, and this person said this, and they said that, and it's like, what? How was the event? So that communication pattern is generally different. Like there are some men who are very good at it because they are outliers, but general men population is just the summary. It was like this is good, finish. But for the woman, it's like I asked how the event was. I'm laughing because for my first child, when I say how was school, like good, and I'll be like, no. When I ask you how was school, I don't want. I know it will be good. Tell me what was good. Like I need more. And I see that as a little bit of a difference between the communication pattern of men and women. So in marriage, women want to really communicate with them. Somebody should not just call from home or from your family house. Maybe you're paid and you receive the phone call. And after the phone call is, oh, if your wife is asking her, so how is mommy? Because she knows we were talking with mommy. And she says, how is mommy? The response she's expecting is not that mommy is fine or mommy is not fine. It is that, yeah, she said that she wants more than just the, oh, she's fine. So that communication is important, like you said, like talking about things. How is work today? Getting to know what is happening in your life. Like that is very, very important. That communication that goes beyond a fixed understanding of life. So, like they will say that for a woman, everything is a single bucket. Woman does not have a different work life, a different social life, a different marriage life. Everything is together. So when she's at home, she's still a worker in her office to communicate around that space. Like she's not pulling herself into silos. But for a man, his life is in silos. So when he's talking about work, like he's just busy with work. He's not thinking that he's a father, just work. So the woman expects a communication that goes beyond, not a silo, like a general conversation of what your life is, what is going on at the moment, and what is going on with us. So any man going into marriage or every husband should understand that there is need to communicate actively, not just a communication of fine, yes, okay, it's good.
Good.
It's communication, thorough conversation should be had in marriage, because that is what keeps you together as friends. To be your gist mate, your husband should be your gist mate. Like you should be able to talk beyond just
The
structured
surface.
husband and wife conversation. That is what makes the relationship grow. I will also want to touch on a little bit is expected of us as human beings, and that is understanding. We should the husband, like the wife expects the husband to live with her in understanding. I'm not saying that men do not need understanding too, but because we are talking about what women want now, I'm going to tailor it towards the wife. The dwell with their wife with understanding. And understanding means you understand the pattern. So I'm on a professional chat group, and a woman posted it there one day that the woman on this channel feel awkward, that almost like every a particular time of every month you are not feeling fine or something is wrong with you, and your manager is beginning to notice. Like you have to talk to your manager. And the woman was talking about menstrual cycle and that affects a woman. So she was asking if any other woman on the channel feels awkward, and every other person was contributing and talking and stuff like that. And it just hit me for a moment that probably like some husbands don't live with their wife with understanding at those periods, because they are just not, it's just not important. And they say you cannot know what something feels like, you don't feel it, and that calls for understanding. But when I saw that, I'm like, I credited the manager to notice that you usually don't feel fine this time of the month. I don't know how the conversation went because she didn't talk about that. To me, shows a form of like noticing a pattern and thinking, should we talk about this, or is this something I need to live with, something I need to understand? So men should live with their wife with understanding. A woman wants to understand them. if she's not if she's not getting up like she usually does every morning at a particular period, live with her understanding. If she's fuzzy over a little thing at a particular time, live with her in understanding. Like there are different changes a woman goes through. Another example I remember now, one of my mentors was telling me, like, just preparing me for marriage. He's a man. So it was like when they got married and his wife got pregnant. Some children were just calling her at the fellowship, like, ah, your wife is no more coming early. Your wife is not contributing well. Because they were all singles at that time. So it was one of the first person to get married. And he didn't know as well. Like, it was you going down spiritually. Is your spiritual life doing something? He started making it an issue with his wife. The wife was just saying, I'm sick now. Like, I'm like, if I don't want to go to fellowship, it's because I don't want to get to the fellowship spitting here and there. Like, I don't feel good about that, and stuff like that. So it took another elderly man in their marriage to say, oh, pregnant. You can't expect her to be going for village outreach like she was when she wasn't pregnant. Like that. All of those little things are what I put together in living with understanding. Like, don't just judge your mate. Don't just judge your partner. Don't just think, oh, she's not even spending time reading the Bible. Like, I remember before we got married, you read the Bible, you evangelize, you do this, but now things have changed and things like that. And you forgot that now you gave her two toddlers to be running after, you toddlers to be managing, and you think that she will have the same amount of time that she had before. So let me just end it here. Like, that understanding is key. Study your partner, like, look at your mate before you judge and say, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Look at it. Is something changing? Is it that she's missing something different? Men women expect their husbands to live with them, dwell with them in understanding. Let me pause there.
Thank you so much for
Thank
that,
you so
Dr.
much.
Bolaji. It's a whole lot. So, while we have Folarin back with us in the building, over to you, Dr. Folarin. Share with us things you think women actually, I mean, wives expect from their husbands. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All
I
right.
can
So, before
I
we
can
have
hear you
our,
well. It's fluctuating.
oh, it's fluctuating. All right, I hear you now. Hello? Hello? All right, okay. So from my hand here, I think one of those that women
Can you hear me
also
now?
want from their husband is appreciation. Has been very busy in the kitchen since morning. She's been busy cooking, preparing fast lunch, and dinner is just ready. The husband is back from work. As in, you just appreciating her. Oh, my wife, thank you very much for this wonderful meal. You've been very busy. Thank you for taking care for this yummy food. Despite your busyness, you still find time to prepare this sumptuous meal for us. Ah, thank you. You know how much, how far that the two words, these two words, what it will do in the life of that woman. It strengthens her. She's encouraged, she's motivated to cook more yummy foods in that house. Even if that food is not so tasty, doesn't meet your expectation, husband still go ahead and appreciate the effort she has put into making that food ready. All right, okay. Let's go over to Mrs. Elizabeth. Let's hear from her.
Wow. Okay. Well, I want to ask a question if you don't mind.
Okay.
I have two more things I would like to drop on, but I want to ask Dr. Fulani a question. Dr. Fulani, can you hear me? Oh, Doctor.
Ah, not Dr. Folarin, Dr.
Oh,
Bolaji.
yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Hey, Dr. Bolaji, can you
Dr.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma.
Okay, I'd like to ask you a question, and I'd like you to drive it home a little bit. What would you want? Would you as a woman, your husband? Now, I want you to talk personal now, not general. Yeah.
So, what I would want personally,
Yes.
okay, personally, I would say that for me, it's just friendship, absolute
Beautiful.
friendship, absolute trust. So, like a relationship that has no boundary. And that is what we continue to like. I don't need to be in all of your affairs, but I need to know about it. Like, just that friendship, pure friendship. And at the moment, is the major and only friend that I have. Like, is the major friend I have. Every other friendship is secondary to this friendship.
That's beautiful. Okay, thank you very much. Because yeah, because I know that this discussion is more like a panel of talking about real things and trying to draw it back home. I would like more women here so that we can talk on different perspectives. So to also add on to what had been said and say that generally women we want access. By this, I want to put it for that it's been said already that women are different from men. And every woman is different also by personality. We know different men types. Some women are not that fast. Some women are ready, they might be sitting down, but they are thinking about 200 things at the same time. So women are different. When women, man and woman gets married, some years, like I've been married for over 10 years now. And by the grace of God, my husband's best friend. But what happens over the years is that you get used to yourself. And sometimes you just expect that person, you have the man, prior expectations from the woman. You just expect this and expect that, just assume she should meet this because she has done that over the years. What beautiful thing in marriage is that it metamorphoses, like this metamorphosis going on. The marriage grows. You are growing, the husband is growing, important, the wife is growing, but there are changes that comes along the way. Now, once the changes come, of course, Dr. talked about uh, period, menstruation, and all that. That's monthly thing. Some people don't even have those changes. That like myself, I don't even have. I'm just almost the same. I think it's because of when you grow to some extent, you're in charge of your spirit. You don't mood change, but you just remain consistent. Sometimes it helps with several things. So when we grow on, the marriage grows. That's something we don't remember. Grows as marriage is growing, the wife should accept the husband. Yes, and the husband most times should accept the wife. But sometimes if the wife, aside for pregnancy, changes, postpartum and everything, kids growing, the marriage grows. So once we accept ourselves, women, we want our husbands to accept us even as we grow and as times and phases change in the marriage. Now, because of time, I will not be able to pull several examples, but I want to drop just one of them. Personally, when we moved abroad, of course, for years now, we've been out of Nigeria. Now, moving abroad and having our family settle abroad with no one to help, with no help, we all have to do everything. We have jobs, we have ministry, we have everything in our hands. We have to communicate back and forth. We have several things, and we have to carry on house chores. We have to keep up the work. We have to carry on follow up. We have to reach out to people. But we have to do everything all at the same time. Now, sometimes snacks come in, but when women we naturally accept our husbands because that's why God said love your wife. There's a reason why, because men have to be and work with them with understanding. Dr. Bola have already said, sometimes they just expect this to happen. Sometimes the woman cannot deliver. So we had to work on there are many things we had to work on. Timing, accepting that hey now you're grappling within this. We are in a phase, we have to do this, we have to juggle this all at the same time. Very important. So husbands have to accept that the woman is not a robot. Like you there's a breaking point. And sometimes it's cold, it's winter, you're a little slower than you are when it's summer. And you waking up time, you oversleep sometimes when the season is changing. So that acceptance is very important, and that's one. Then one other thing I want to drop in: romance. Hey, romance. Women, we want our husband to be a little more romantic. Not in the in of course we're talking of women now, married women and men. We want our husbands to drop some, like it doesn't have to be when you're ready to go all the way. Even if you are in the and we are doing stuff together, or we are, doing the laundry, or somebody's helping out with the home along with the kids. Sometimes some romantic words, even at work, those things are very important. They mean a lot to women because we're more emotionally inclined than the man. That's very important. Okay, to you.
Thank you very
For now.
much, Mrs. Elizabeth. Thank you so much for your wonderful submission. So, I us to have Dr. Folarin share with us our
Oh, great.
view from the
Okay.
discourse
Thank you very
today.
much.
Over
Can you
to you,
hear
Dr.
me?
Folarin. Yes. Yes, we can hear you. You can go on.
So I'll have the question.
Yeah, what's the question? Ah, from my hand. All right. Okay. So, what exactly are those that you look for in your own marriage from your husband? I think we've moved. We are now in the real sense of it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Um, if I got you clearly, I know that at the initial time when we started this conversation, you asked on what are the basic needs of man in marriage and what are our specific needs. Understanding the fact that we are different as individuals and all that. So I want to believe that my colleague mentioned spoken about love, the importance, so added the impulsive system together, to come to a middle point and still achieve goals. So all that. So moving on to talking about specific things and general altogether, talking about compliments. Women always love compliments. Like women always love compliments. And no matter our differences, it is important for our men to know that there is still something beautiful. No matter how little it is, there's something beautiful, there's something good about the woman you have. And if effort can be made to focus on those little things, those little things about that person, and compliment that person on that strength of compliment them, appreciate them, it helps in marriage to that our mind the similar things that we do and I'm not getting. If we focus a little bit on those areas of strength of that person, compliment them for that and appreciate them for that. When we talk about appreciation, we're talking about, it could be words, it could be gift, it could be taking her out on a date, it could be it could be spending quality, understanding what communicates love to that person. Look at the woman from the eyes of her areas of strength. It helps woman. It will help me too to do better in that thing, because I believe I now want to put in more effort in that area, definitely. Then also support of the woman in the family, supporting our dreams, supporting our goals. Sometimes our dreams and goals could differ, it could differ, but it is important our men um are able to identify with us our areas of what makes us happy, what we love to do, and support us in that area. Is this what you love to do? Or is what you love to do? I want you to be happy. Go do it. I will support you. Whatever area you need my support, I'm ready to give it to you. Because that when you make your woman happy, the matter of time, you will soon be happy. You will be happy in other areas within the marriage. Yeah. So, and also, another area I want to talk about, clear conversations, able to communicate our needs and also able to listen to the needs of in the marriage. I think I'd love to stop there for now.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Folarin. Just in addition to what Dr. Folarin just shared with us, I want to also a few things about that, about positivity. Women love, we actually like it when we hear all those sweet words, okay? And sometimes, even if she's making a mistake and you want to correct it, it's always good for our husbands to understand that, oh, make your corrections known with love. It's not all the time you always tell us, no, 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 no. At least we understand, okay, there are sometimes you want to say no. But when the no is getting is she talked about this, you told her no. She talked about that, you said no. Gradually, our self-confidence, our self-esteem will be affected. So you are complimenting her, and just
True.
like Dr. Abolaji said, we want that friendship. Even when you have your friends outside, there is a way you communicate yourself, there is a way you support them, there is a way you point their mistakes to them, not by giving them a negative answer, a negative response. So one of those things that we expect from our husband is try to be positive, give a listening here. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for your wonderful contributions. And before we bring discussion to a close, what happens when the husbands are not doing this? All these things, all these are expectations. If peradventure we not getting them from them, what happens? So, over to you, Dr. Bolaji. What is the what? How do I put it? What will happen if get these things from our husbands?
I was thinking it up in my head. You deal with it, but that is a joke. That joke anyway.
Yeah.
So as we were talking, I was thinking that I think I'm the one that should listen to this conversation more, not actually ladies, because the men are the ones that need to know women wants, because women know what they want.
Very
So I think this part just makes me really feel okay. Women are the one that should listen. Women should listen to this as well. Now, when that is not happening, when men are not giving what we want, and generally for like the difference between a man and a woman, they always say men knows what they want. It is women that don't usually know what they want. That's because it is not that we don't know what we want, but we don't we don't command what we want. And that happen, like I'll bring it back to like before marriage and even in marriage now, that most women just give the choice to the man, removing themselves from the equation, especially when we're from the conservative background. Like I know I must respect my husband, I know I must treat my husband like this. Like there's a lot of things that women, like even your mom will not let you rest on what you should do for your husband. But don't, like knowledge is growing now, things are changing, and thankfully for that, men don't usually do not receive that education of what they should do for their wives and how they should treat women. I know that the education is going far and abroad now, like many people are embracing it. And I will also encourage all of us on this call or anybody who, if you are mothers or you're a mother and you have a son, let us teach them how to treat a lady while they are still boys, so that they grow up knowing that this is how you treat a lady, this is how you treat a woman. And anytime men emphasize or knowledge emphasize the issue of men need to be respected, the ego of him to be respected, I always also say that women also have their own ego, and women also want respected. It's just that the language of respect for a woman might be slightly different from that of a man. So you respect me if you share an issue with me before making a decision. To me, that is a show of respect. That you don't just get to make the decision without considering what my opinion is as your wife. That to me is respect. But I will not dwell too much on that. But when that is not happening, I think one of the first thing to do, man needs to get an education. Now, I will come from the point of view of the one, you are the one that knows what you want. So like they always say, you command what you want. You don't demand it, you command it. You create a presence that requests that thing that you want. For example, like in communication, if your partner is not talking to you as like it goes about with his life, how is everything today, is yes and no, how are things, and that like that, then you create a need for that communication. For example, you can send a meeting invitation. So I really am a very casual person, but at times we should have a serious conversation, a business conversation, a business in marriage conversation. You can send an invitation for that, a 1 hour meeting, Mr. Bolaji and Mrs. Bolaji. Now that looks humorous, but the message that sent is we need this devoted time to talk. And what are we talking about? The topic today is we are not talking. What is the problem? So those are you that you know what you want need to command it. Like you need to create an environment that brings that to you. But also I would say that that starts like on the part of your husband. You need him to get education, and that can come from mentors. And we always emphasize that your husband, you should never marry a man who doesn't have at least one person that can say come here, and they come. Whose phone call they cannot like just look away from. That person can be the man in the relationship who will talk to the man and say, oh, this is how it should be done. Like you don't wife like this, you don't treat your wife like this. Mentorship. Second thing about education, you can buy books. If you read books, you can go for this is an example of a program. Yourself and your husband can listen to this. Like sometimes this when it is coming just from you, it becomes like nagging. You have said it again. You have said it before. You are saying it again and again. It's nagging. But when it's coming from a third party, when it's coming from another person, then it catches your partner's attention and it's like, "Hmm, this is actually necessary and stuff like that." So our time is going, but I will bucket it in. The husband needs education. You need to get him educated through mentorship, books, programs, podcasts. There are just different avenues now to provide education. And of course, you also need to get down on your knees. Some people will just like they just need something to be moved and shaken for them to really be educated. So you also need to get on your knees and you need to command what you want. Let them know what you want, not just it should know, because sometimes the person is just sincerely about what you want.
Wow, thank you very much for that wonderful submission, Dr. Bolaji. Over to you, Mrs. Elizabeth.
Okay, I think my sister has just said everything I wanted to say. How one can work at repairing a situation that has none of these, wants that women want from their husbands. Well, very this must be the last time I'm going to speak because of our time. So I want to also add what could happen if what women want from men don't, come, it's not come, for what could happen is the man would lose the woman. That's the reality. I don't think women should, well, it's in a funny way, but actually it's so serious. It's really beyond that. It's really I've seen there are real issues happening everywhere, and it got me really thinking and almost in tears. Real marriages are down as we speak because most times women get to deal with issues of the marriage. The men just have their own time out. So we've said already that. So what could happen? A marriage can break. We want to trust God that people will listen to this and take off a lot of value and try to implement some things. And hopefully, men listening, you think your wife will always, maybe that wife might not always be there. Yes, we can pray. Of course, my first bet is prayer. Prayer solves everything and anything. But don't think the woman will be there for you to sit on her or deny her or just have her just listen to all your no's and no's and she never says no to you. So I hope some men that are out there are listening. Now, my husband is wonderful. I think most of us, Sister Rhoda, you know him. Like none of those things happen. And thank God for background. Thank God for the Holy Spirit. Thank God for understanding. Thank God for my sister said education. Thank God for getting knowledge and getting wisdom and holding fast to it and all that God has put in. But once you realize as a man that even if I keep, my wife is giving me all the attention, giving me all the submission, giving me all the respect, we do as godly women, we do that just without thinking. But we get to have to bear with everything you get to throw at us. And it's the other the coin is this way. Marriage is not balanced. The woman might be crushed, and you might lose her. You must lose her. She might be in the marriage, but she's not there. So, and one thing I want to say is one thing that other thing that can happen. We don't want it to happen, but is divorce. And the Bible says God hates divorce, and we won't want it to happen. That's why this kind of meeting is going on, so that the woman doesn't. I know of a situation that godly woman will leave this marriage. I'm not going to divorce, but I want my peace of mind. I want to be together. I'm losing my mental health. Lots and lots of women, godly marriages. So one thing that is, of course, the woman has a lot to deal with. Check up. We'll have to. What could happen is if also the wife looks at herself, what am I not doing right? Also, aside for praying, is there anything I have to adjust? The man do that, like she's talked about mentoring. Is there somebody to talk with? Is there some men have tried everything, nothing is happening. So one thing that is important is hold on. Say that to women now. Women out there, your man is not listening. What you want is not, you're just being shown. Hold on. Help is on the way. Don't stop praying. Don't give up on that marriage. One doesn't give up, that marriage is not gone. You wouldn't give up because God is on your side. So that's something I want to submit. And one thing I also want to drop is men, one thing, women, we want you to be very vulnerable. Sometimes we want our husbands to be vulnerable. I'm saying this because I remember the situation, vulnerability, just sharing things, even if you feel hurt. Sometimes men wants to be strong. Don't just be strong, just be normal. Most appreciate that. So very important. Hold on, and all will be well very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Mrs. Elizabeth. Thank you so much for the privilege to have you, Dr. Balaji, Mrs. Elizabeth, and Dr. Mrs. Folarin on the conversation on the platform today. It's really been a wonderful time with every one of us. This moment has really been a great one. And before we just bring the discussion today to a close, I want to add a few things that seriously, guys. An honest thank you worth thousand words. So don't feel though I don't want our husbands to start thinking that after all it's our responsibility. She has to do this, she has to do that. Please try to be appreciative. We want it. We really appreciate it when you tell us thank you. Thank you for taking kids. Thank you for doing the laundry. Thank you for cooking our meals. And another thing is, we want you to be supportive, honestly, because you are the best friend we have. And if you cannot support us, who else will? So if you are there as a husband to be, have it in mind to be supportive, to support your wife. Okay, she has her dreams, she wants to attempt something new, she wants to do something, be there to support her. Because, like Dr. Bolaji shared the story of the group chat of it was getting to know the menstrual period, the menstrual cycle of the woman. I think the husband should be the best person to understand who the wife really is and not an outsider. And if you are so close to your partner, if you're so close to your wife, able to know that at this particular time of the month, maybe she reacts in a kind of way. But if you are not the friend she needs, you will not be supportive, there is no way you'll be able to understand that. So we want you to be there, we want to trust you that you will always be there, you are always there. Listen to every of our gists. You are gist partners. You are just partners.
Yeah.
You were not just bedmates. We are not just housemates. You are just partners. So you should be ready to give a listening ear to everything we tell you. And like I think it was Dr. Bumi that said it also, that we don't have to be in the picture, but we want to know everything going on. Stop telling us it was good. It was okay. We want to know everything. And like Mrs. Elizabeth said, we want romantic men. We want romantic guys. Not just not we are not talking it is not about going all the way through. But sometimes be proud of who your wife is. Be proud of your wife. You're going outside, you have a forum, you have a family meeting, you have a gathering, you have anything. Be proud of your wife. Let her know that yes, my husband proud of me. Yes. Yes. All right, guys. What a wonderful time. We really appreciate everyone who has contributed one way or the success of today's live stream. It's still Say Matters with Roy. And guys, I will really appreciate it if you can share this video out with to any other person feel will benefit greatly. We've shared a lot from the discussion today. Don't be selfish with it. Share it out. Married men, married women, married women to be, married men to be. They all need these discussions. They need to learn, relearn, and learn. And on bring today's discussion to a close. A very big thank you to every one of us, the wonderful women that, despite their busy schedules, they still found to join us on the platform today. Thank you so much, Dr. Bolaji. Thank you very much, Mrs. Elizabeth. Thank you very much, Dr. Folarin. Really appreciate you all. And to you guys, to all our viewers out, thank you so much and have a wonderful weekend. Till we'll come again, it's still Jane Say Matters with Ro- and Remain. Bye for now. Bye
Bye. Thank you
bye.
so much. Thank you.